So, you want to be an animator? Great! Here are some tips and tricks to make it easier for you. First up, gear! If you have a laptop, you can buy a cheap-ass tablet from the internet to help you out. I have this one I bought in high school, used it once and forgot about it until last year. It works really fine and it's quite dirty cheap on the internet. For the software, I recommend OpenTools for animation, and for audio, Audacity, whatever is pronounced. These are freeware, so you can use them however the f you want. When the FBI will knock on your door for piracy,
FBI, open up!
these two will not be on the list. Now, animating. But first, the intro.
Now,
You need to choose an avatar. My advice is to choose a stick figure or a stick figure based avatar. Not a lot of people do this, but try not to choose these ones as they're already taken. Second, learn how to animate. It's not that complex if you understand the basics, which are 2Ds, 3Ds, motion graphics and stop motion. Let's start with the first one and also end there as I don't know literal shit about the others. For 2D, you need to know only this: 24 FPS, vectors, layers, audio sync. Great! Now you're an expert. See you in the next one. Nah, just kidding. 24 FPS. That's how fast the human eye can see motion. 24 frames per second. What are frames?
images.
If you add 24 of these, stack them together in an order that makes some sort of decent sense, and show them one after another in 1 second to your caffeine and dopamine addicted brain, you can trick it to think it sees movement. Vectors! It's a sciencey way of saying you can move lines. Draw a line. Now, try to move it. Can't? That's because it's not a
Vector.
Now, draw a line. Try to move it. Can't? That's because you selected the wrong tool. Now, here, see? It moves! Like that, you can animate without drawing every single frame again and again. You can also correct dumb shit you did while animating. You can't correct that skibidi toilet tattoo you drew yourself on your ass while drunk. That's on you. Next up, layers! What does that mean? Just like an
onion!
To quote from the most famous green and muscular character in all movie history, no, not him, also not her. Yep, him.
Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. You get it? We both have layers.
Animation has layers too! You drew something, great, now you want to animate it. Ah, you can't, the background is in the way. If only you could do this easier.
Layers.
Just draw the background in one layer and the rest of your Miku Hatsune fantasy in another layer. Great, now you understand layers. And ogres. Audio sync. This one's easy. Try not to have your character hit a button at a certain time and have the sound of that button 10 seconds later. You'll need to import the audio and animate the frames while listening to the audio. Sorry, no Belarusian Doomer music in the background, hint hint, molchat doma, while you're drawing your best childhood memories. If you want to get more fancy, there's also lip sync. You have 10-ish sound groups that makes kinda the same mouth movement depending on who you're asking. Those are: first one, A, I, second, E, third, O, fourth, U, fifth, F, V, sixth, L, seventh, M, B, P, eighth, W, Q, ninth, the rest of the freaking alphabet! And 10th, resting face, because that's a sound? For some reason, I don't know. Draw a mouth that resembles those sounds and then sync it with the sounds. If you don't want to spend your next 10 years out of your miserable life syncing manually the sound, with the lip movement, please be aware there are add-ons and programs that can do this automatically for you. That's all for today. Check out my other videos. Hope you learned something. Bye!